Welcome to Wilson Audio Extras. We're going to talk about the 2018 Fall OSS Meet, which occurred in Scurry, Texas. And this footage, sorry it's taking me so long to get it out, but I wanted to show you a little bit about the venue here. It was well off the road. It's a really nice farm by an older lady who owned it and gave us rights to use this for a day. And turns out this is a really, really cool place. We actually use it again in 2019, the following year. I'll show you some of that footage coming up in a future video. But yeah, it was well off the beaten path, and we had plenty of room to park the vehicles and all that good stuff, and no noise troubles or anything to worry about. Now let's get to the gear. Anytime we have an OSS meet, we have really cool car stereo gear people bring, in this case amplifiers, have precision power, we have some old JL audio speakers, Rockford Fosgate, JBL, and an Alpine amplifier. And this was early in the day, so later in the day we had some more people come. A Ryan 250 HCCA, an AdCom amp, you don't see a whole lot of those. And here's a little bit newer Soundstream from the early 2000s. Of course, we have kicker gear here, have some HiFiVega subwoofers behind that, which probably need new surrounds by now. And sometimes there's some new equipment as well. I mean, we have a newer Alpine PDX amplifier, an alarm, some other Alpine equipment there. And yeah, as the day it went on, more people came, more goodies laid out on the tables. Some people were selling things. Some people were ended up giving things over to the raffle, and I'll show that here in a minute. We did the raffle. There's a Nakamichi DAC. You don't see many of those. And yeah, this is later in the day. You can see quite a bit of goodies here. Flat piston PPI subs, some solo barracks. We have some precision power, Zapco, Orion, a lot of goodies. US Acoustics, Alpine, and actually that big Orion there at the end is a 425 HCCA. I actually got my hands on that, so that one will be a future video. I got it all fixed up and everything. Power supply, we have some tweeters, more mids and subs, a lot of crossovers, EQ, speakers, you know, again, just all kind of good stuff. Now, we do the raffle whenever we do the OSS meets, and we always donate the money. In this case, it went to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. 100% of the profits. I don't make anything on these. Now, back to the cars. This was a not well advertised event because I wasn't really sure of the venue before we got there. I wasn't sure how many people would show up. So just kind of, about 20, 25 cars or so showed up this day in 2018. And I'm going to show some of the systems here. Here's one of the pickup trucks with a Precision Power A404 4-channel amplifier and also an A600. And I've shown both of these amps before on my test. You can look in the video description. I'll put a link to those tests. You can see the amps. And some mids and tweeters installed up in the dash. I think this was a Nissan Frontier. But yeah, the old school stuff is just really cool to see in action. And there's acoustic. Those are relatively new subs, but they're very efficient. They were very inexpensive at the time, at this time in 2018, so people were buying those. Here's a HiQ 8 by Savard in a very small box in the back of an extended cab pickup. Rockford Punch 800.2, an excess power supplementary battery. And that's another Rockford, I think it's a 400A4 4-channel. And you can see not everybody was completely done with their installs, but the guys who were local just brought them out. And this dude wanted to meter his. He was getting mid 130s, and yeah, he cracked the windshield during this. Psych. But you can see his ARC audio subs were getting down. This is pretty cool. Now, I do want to mention audio. You're only going to get audio at the very end, which I'm going to show a demo vehicle. And I think after that demo, it actually messed up my microphone. So all of this is staticky. The audio sounds horrible. That's why you're not hearing anything in this part of the video. But yeah, we had fun. We shared, a little SPL meter. Some of the guys weren't sure what kind of numbers they were putting out. Again, this is all for fun. This is not competition stuff. This is just old school guys who have old school gear, just want some extra bump, want to have some fun. Those ARC audio subs, again, we're getting down. This is probably my favorite vehicle that wasn't playing. This is Drew Luther, who is a real old school guy back from the late 70s. He used to put systems in cars in the early 80s. This is his Dodge Ram. You can see all of his power wires. Wait until you see the system here. Dual beast Orion 2250 XTRs. And then behind the seats, he had 18-inch JBLs. These are Pro Audio JBLs. A lot of times these were used back in the day. And then Orion 225 HCCAs above that. He has 2 stacked back to back. You can see the huge ports there, flared ports in the middle for the subs. And on the opposite side, he's got a couple more of the Orion 225 HCCAs. Again, they're stacked together. There's some reflective plexi behind it, so it can show that he's talking about putting over a trim panel to make it look better. Now, the Savard speaker systems, this is their Excursion, and this is what ruined my microphone. So here you can see their setup. At the very end of the video, Will Savard is going to talk about some of it, but you can see it's got a system in the back. It's got a really cool door pod setup here. Plenty of sound for a demo vehicle. Just an awesome truck, and the Savard guys are super awesome. They always come to the OSS meets. They're very supportive of us, and we appreciate it. They do have Sound Digital, have newer amplifiers in their vehicle, and that's kind of expected for these days to these high-powered systems like this. And again, here is the system. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, or Will's going to talk about it, about how many subs are back there. It's a really cool, really crazy setup. But they also have a fully separate system they can play out of the back. And, you know, that way they can entertain people at shows. In this case, they really didn't use the back system a whole lot other than for show. So let's move on to the demo. All right, I will put these over my ears, but I'm going to do a demo here shortly in the Savard Monster. Now, the way the subs are set up in this vehicle, you can't really see them that well, can't really see the flex, but yeah, I can tell you this system was bumping. Check out the flex on this door panel. I mean, the whole door. It's pretty crazy. That's pretty low bass right there. So I had a good time, and thanks to Savard for coming out. That was an incredible demo. Thanks, Lucas.
Well, thank you.
Woo! Check out the Savard Excursion. Next time you see them in a show, check out their speakers. Awesome. Big D. Can't hear you anymore.
Thing sounds pretty good. You know how them sound waves go?
Oh, I got you. Okay, for the rear there. Sweet. So that little Bluetooth jobby works okay, huh? Don't have any problems with it.
For now at least.
Okay.
With this thing, you play it long enough, things break.
Yeah, so you got prepared. So you got some LEDs flashing obviously back there.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is we did start with a very, very large enclosure without that divider wall in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 separate amps, both sharing a common source.
Yeah.
With RCAs, but yet we still had some phasing issues. So we did have to add a divider wall in the center. And then we expanded the width of the divider wall until the control of the cones came into play.
Gotcha.
So basically, the point of that wall is to divide the 2 separate systems and then to reduce the amount of airspace until cone control improved.
Nice. So you said 48 total, so 24 per side?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So it's 500 watts.
Pretty
per.
good with that math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
You big dummy.